got her, I was living in an apartment, and we ended up having to leave that apartment complex because they weren't allowed pit bulls. And then we moved into a rental house that kind of, they didn't have a specific policy. They approved her on a, just a personal basis. And then when we were looking to leave that house, we had so much trouble finding a good rental in a good area that was in our budget. We just couldn't find one, so we ended up buying a house.
No, not saying it, but you definitely have the people that will try to go the other direction just so they don't have to encounter her. I will let her in the front yard a lot of times and let her and her siblings run around outside in the front. It's a change of scenery. They kind of get a little bit of freedom. They love it. They know where they can go and where they can't. And, they love people. And my neighbors are actually more afraid of the Great Dane than they are of her when they run up to them. So, luckily.
That's some of the red tape that me and the interim director, Jennifer Harville, kind of did away with. At one point, we would, if you came in today and you wanted to adopt a dog, we would make you go speak to your landlord and get their approval and come back. And we looked at that, sat down, had some discussions, and said, why is that an animal service issue? That's between a tenant and a landlord. That's a private matter between two parties, and we have no way to regulate and force those apartment complexes or housing authorities or what have you to change their rules. And when you look at a lot of the rules, to me, they make no sense. And so that was something we got out of. And if you want to adopt a pet from us, and that's going to be a private matter between you and your landlord. When you look at some of the breeds that they outlaw, so to speak, I don't understand it. I lived in an apartment for about 10 years, and I would have rather seen breed or size specifics as opposed to breeds, because I'd take my little Chihuahua walking around the apartment complex and I'd see big giant dogs stuck in little bitty backyards and never see them go out on walks, never see them go to the park, just live in those backyards. If you have a one-bedroom efficiency apartment, a St. Bernard's probably not going to be a good fit, but St. Bernard's are probably not outlawed on any list that I've seen, where pit bulls are, German shepherds are, and it's just, I don't know the rhyme or reason behind how they came up with those breeds. And it's usually actually insurance companies that set those specifics because they're afraid of damage those dogs would do to the apartment, or possibly liability if they got out and bit somebody. Well, this is something that, and I mentioned this, I presented in front of the city council the week before last, and one of the things I'd like to see changed, one of the council persons asked me, how did we ever come up with a number of you can have 4 cats and 4 dogs, but you can't have 6 dogs and 2 cats, or you can't have, it has to be 4 and 4, and you can have 4 cats and a litter of kittens under 16 weeks while you simultaneously have 4 dogs and a litter of puppies under 16 weeks. And I looked at them and said, I think somebody got some numbers, threw them at the wall, said we're going with that. Because I've known individuals that could take care of 10 dogs and not have a problem. I've known other people that can't take care of 1 puppy and it's an issue to them. So I don't know how they came up with those rules, but that's something I really don't like. I wish that it goes back to a case-by-case basis, because especially if a housing authority is going to limit you to 1 dog and 1 cat. Some dogs need companionship, some cats need companionship. Honestly, some cats don't get along with dogs and vice versa. So I would rather see just you be able to handle how many pets you want. I know when you get into rental property, it's more of an issue of how is it going to be destroyed. But I've seen hoarding cases where people own their property and their house was destroyed by too many animals. So it goes back to me personally, I take it case by case.